Welcome back. Today we are talking with Harsha Sastry, the author of The Continuity Moment Insight. Harsha, great first segment there. Thank you very much. We're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about innovation on the resilience journey. What do you mean by innovation?
Well, when I talk about innovation, the point that I want to drive here is uh, the road looks like an end with one stage in life people have crossed, and people looking ahead as to what has to be done next. And it's not about the professionals not knowing what is to be done next. The professionals who are in business continuity know very well what has to be done next. But it's all about the integration of various enterprises, various organizations, and various business entities to actually gather themselves up and think of what they need to do next. So, when you want to do something different, when you want to do something beyond what you have been doing, the only way in which you can get a new drum beat to the whole music is by innovating a style of music. And what I mean by innovation is looking at it differently, looking at it from an eyes, what is it that is required for the people around you? Your individual professional aspects of building plans, building testing capabilities, building products, deploying products, implementing all that you have achieved. Now it's the turn to actually prove that what you did is going to probably further make you rise further. So when you want to extend the ladder beyond its height, either you need to climb the ladder and push it up, or you need to find a better way of extending the ladder without doing much effort. And the only way that you can do that is by identifying different methods to enable the activities by the virtue of which your value continues to be rising. The value that business continuity has delivered for COVID is of keeping business alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the value delivered. Nobody may speak about it, but that's the truth. The
So how do
truth
you go
is,
about getting everybody involved in that kind of a thing? Because in many places, it's one person, but how do you get everyone involved to innovate and come up with new ways
I
to keep
know.
moving forward?
It, do you know something? It starts in a different place. It starts with a top down approach. Now, I like to show you something. What do you feel? Am I a blind man?
You might be. For
I
those on
might be, right?
for
I
those
might
on
be.
radio, Harsha changed glasses. He's wearing dark glasses now.
Yes. So, Alex, the point that I was trying to make by wearing these glasses was just to indicate a small thing. If you see value, then you need to appreciate the value. And if you appreciate the value, you need to get the involvement of individuals in the value. How many boards ask a single question? They have so many presentations of various experts, leaders, which are done in boardrooms. Do they have a single question to ask them after every presentation? Fantastic presentation, but what is the value that you have added to resilience? Speak for 5 minutes.
Oh, you want me to say something?
No, I'm not
Oh.
asking you. That is the question. That is just a question to make the waterfall effect start. If the board asks the leader will go and ask his team. The team will start asking their teams, and their teams will start asking their members. So everybody has to give that answer so that you have the bottoms up approach of information flow again, so that when it's the next board meeting, here are the things that we did at the grassroots, at the middle layer, at the sub middle layer, at a slightly top layer, at a top layer, and at my layer. It's all a sandwich approach. It's only a question of somebody asking that one question. The
But how
moment that is asked, you will get the buy-in, because there will be an indicator that would be given that we are interested. Today, it's all silent.
So
It's an
how do we
employee
identify
engagement.
the value though? Because
Yes,
a lot of leaders and managers, and it's happening now that COVID is over, they're reverting back to the pre-pandemic thinking where it's just business continuity again. We made it through COVID. There's no value to it. So how do you continually show value so that there is that buy-in and then people can appreciate it?
okay. So I just exhibited to you
Mhm.
the change of my spectacles. So it's all about changing your spectacles. Either you pretend to be blind or you are really blind. There are only two situations. If you are really blind, yes, somebody needs to bring in the rays of sunshine so that there is a vision. However, if someone is not realizing it for whatever reasons, it is very important for enabling those questions come in the form of true questions. Don't make them implicit warranties, make them explicit warranties. Provide an indicator that this is what we want to see. This is what we want to experience in our resilience journey. It's not about cost, it's not about investments, it's not about anything. It's all about the culture that an individual binds through oneself or through a team of people or through the organization of being resilient. So that's what I just like to say. It's all about the topmost person asking for it rather than presuming that he would be getting it. Nobody goes and gives anything without being asked, because nobody can imagine what is being asked, what is required probably.
Mhm. How about, let's flip that the other way.
Yeah.
Someone isn't asking the right questions. And and I'm a business continuity person or resilience professional or whatever name you want to give me. How do I go about then showing that value so that then people do start seeing something different and I start having influence on them? How do I go about
Yeah.
doing
So there's a very simple way today, at least as we are talking: buy my book and follow my book. That's the first thing that I'll say. You'll be able to present A to Z of everything. Without using my story, you can make your own story. The second thing is that there is a requirement for people to understand what is the difference between resilience and business continuity. So the most important thing that is essential is there a presumption that resilience is just one more attribute of business continuity? Or is it that people don't know what business continuity is and what resilience is? Or are they jumbled? The problem is that if we are using a jargon just because we want to use it,
Mhm.
then we should not do that. We should know what we are trying to do. We should all remember that the world is round. So if you started at one point, you're going to go back to the same point. So the point that I'm trying to make is that individuals have to start communicating the need that businesses should focus on as the beginning. They need to identify what is essential. They need to also know to state the objective. They have to indicate the possibilities of what is the possibility themes, the goals, the approaches that are taken for either or both of these elements, which we call as business continuity and resilience, and the sense under what both these elements operate. For example, the sense of resilience is about proactivity. The sense of business continuity is about reaction. Reaction. Resilience as a begin is with your risk assessment. Business continuity as your begin is with your business impact analysis. Which is first? Is resilience first or is business continuity first? Is the whole question mark that is there in the whole world.
Well, be careful.
So,
We're going to talk about that later in our last segment. So don't go too far on
okay.
that.
No, that's fine. We will probably do that. So the whole point that I'm trying to make is that it's not about whether an individual is able to differentiate between these two elements. It's about how are these two elements being exhibited to win the buy. That's what I like to say.
And is that how innovation then comes about?
Yes, because I may think about business continuity implementation or anything for that matter in a particular way. Another individual probably would say, no, I would like to actually only look at one layer of the organization and do it. That is resilience of the business continuity for me. And that is perfect. One mistake that people are doing is about thinking that if we talk of business continuity, it is all deep, all slices of the cake. But it doesn't mean that. Every individual is resilient to the way in which the individual is. So if a resilience index is 3.0 for someone and a resilience index for someone else is 25.0, it doesn't mean that the person with 25.0 is much more stronger than the person 3.0. The requirements could be different. The positive side is that both are resilient. Somebody may think, oh, I have to reach 25.0. Fine, that's your maturity way of looking at it. Somebody may say, I think I'm spending too much, I need to come down to 15. It's fine. It's all about how an individual's business requirement is, how an individual himself is configured, and what an individual feels should be the length and width of resilience business continuity. In fact, I would say that a person with a 3.0 could be much more resilient than anyone else because he has identified only what he needs to actually deliver and he has made himself very strong. Though he may be looking at a 3.0, but he may be strong on his own, which we should appreciate.
And then those differing perspectives contribute then to new ideas and new thoughts and the innovation of resilience and business continuity.
Absolutely. For all you know, he's at 3.0 because he's innovated something and nobody has even understood what he has done to replicate, and hence he's at a 3.0. The moment someone looks at him and replicates, probably there could be many more ideas that flow in where he jumps from 3.0 to 50.0. You never know that.
Yeah.
So it's all about how a person thinks and how a person looks at his activities to be done in a more effective way, more collaborative way, more systems aligned way. The thought process is very more important rather than actually doing the things in the same old way that once upon a time we were doing it or someone was doing it. So you need to we need to change ways in which we work, we execute, and we also perform. In fact, we should change the ways we measure. Why do we want to measure at a base of 100? Why can we not start measuring at a base of 1,000,000? And then you see everybody goes back to 0.13, 0.14, 0.16 because the base itself has changed.
Well, on
So
that note, whoops, sorry, go ahead. Final thought.
No, that's all. That's okay. I just wanted to say that was it that I wanted to say.
On that note, we've come to the end of our second segment. We are talking with Harsha Sastry today, the author of The Continuity Moment Insight, and we will be right back with segment 3. If you liked that video, thumbs up. If you didn't like that video, thumbs down. But leave me a message and let me know your thoughts. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, stay prepared, everybody.